So have you ever felt that no matter what you do, you are powerless to the negative thoughts that are ruling over your mind? As if these thoughts are eating every inch of your being. The topic for today is very serious. So I'm asking everyone's cooperation to understand rather than to judge, to listen rather than to speak up, to love rather than to hate. So let's discuss anxiety and depression. What is it all about? Okay, so I'll start with this quote from Harold J. Sala from his book, Winning Your Inner Struggle. So the greatest battles in life are not fought on the world's battlefields. They are fought in our own hearts. Men and women face conflicts and pressures warring within and often bring defeat. The real enemies are forces such as fear, worry, inadequacy, inferiority, anger, frustration, and inability to cope. So let's define kung ano man yung depression and anxiety. Okay. So depression, as we normally use it, it's not the common sadness or hopelessness that we feel. Sadness and hopelessness is a normal part or a normal way of life. Usually, na-experience natin siya when there is a loss, a grief, rejections, and anything. But depression is more than that. According to Psychology Today, a depressive disorder is not a passing blue mood, but rather, it is a persistent feeling of sadness, a persistent feeling of worthlessness, and a lack of desire to engage in formerly pleasurable activities. So ang keyword dito is persistent. Okay? It's persistent. It's not a passing blue mood. Hindi lang siya yung ngayon, sad ako today, bukas masaya na ako. It's not depression. It's sadness. Okay? So depression is more than that. So here are the symptoms that I got from Psychology Today. Sorry, medyo magiging informative muna tayo on the first part because we need to understand what depression is really all about. So these are the symptoms of depression. You can, if, kunyari, na-experience na siya, you can have it all at once. But sometimes, around 4 or 5 of these will be enough to classify someone as having depressive disorder. So, basahin ko na lang siya. Persistent sadness, pagiging anxious or empty feeling, feelings of hopelessness or pessimism, feelings of guilt, worthlessness or helplessness, loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities that were once enjoyed, including sex. I think mature enough na naman tayo lahat, no, to understand the terms. Decreased energy, fatigue, being slowed down, difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions, insomnia, early morning awakening or oversleeping. Ako nag-oversleep ako, kaya ganito kalaki. Okay? So it's same. If madalas may insomnia kayo or oversleeping, it can be. So hindi lahat ng naka-experience nun may depression. It can be a symptoms of depression. Appetite or weight loss, ako dun ako sa kapila. Overeating and weight gain. Thoughts of death or suicidal attempts, restlessness, irritability, persistent physical symptoms that do not respond to treatment such as headaches, digestive disorders, and chronic pain. Okay. So if, for example, some of you naka-experience ng around 4 to 5 nito, and it is persistent. What do I mean by persistent? You feel this one majority of the day, daily. For 2 weeks, it can already be classified. Pero syempre, kailangan muna pumunta sa mga psychiatrists to be able to really check if meron ka talaga kayo or it's just a normal grief, a normal sadness. Okay? So there's nothing wrong Okay? Huwag niyong sabihin na, ay, na-feel ko to, worthless ako, ganun. There's nothing wrong. It's a common way of life. Okay? So, aside from the major depressive disorder, there are also different kinds of, different brackets siguro under depression. Nandiyan dyan yung bipolar. So, ang bipolar disorder is a disorder na ngayon, manic ka. So, manic meaning sobrang saya mo, sobrang hyper mo. Then, kinabukasan, or after a second, bigla kang naging depressive, bigla kang gusto mo mag-suicide. It's a disorder. And it's part of the depressive disorder that we have. Then there's also psychotic depression. So yun yung may mga tao na feel to, then they hallucinate. Okay? So yun yung mga for depression. Now, let's discuss anxiety. So anxiety is not worrying or fear alone. It's more than that. Okay? Usually, we are anxious when we are taking exams. Or syempre may iba, walang pakialam, hindi sila anxious. But most of the time, we are anxious when we are taking exams. When we are doing something that na feeling natin may mangyayari sa life natin. We are anxious over that. But similar, according to psychology today, anxiety is a normal reaction to stressful situations. But in some cases, when it becomes excessive, and it can cause sufferers to dread everyday situations. That exaggerated worries and expectations of negative outcomes in unknown situations that typify anxiety are often accompanied by physical symptoms. This includes muscle tension, headaches, stomach cramps, and frequent urination. So, ibig sabihin, mga anxiety, pag nakaka-experience ka ng mga anxiety disorders, it's excessive. Okay? Key term is excessive worrying over irrational thoughts, irrational beliefs. Okay? Hindi lang siya yung anxious ako, may anxiety ata ako kasi mag-exam ako mamaya, hindi ako makahinga. It's not that. It's more than that. And it's persistent. Similar to depression, it needs to be persistent daily for majority of the time of your day. Okay? So ito yung mga symptoms niya. Excessive worry about health, money, family, work, or school performance, even when there are no signs of trouble. Irrational expectations of the worst outcome in many situations. Inability to relax, irritability, insomnia, tiredness, headaches, muscle tension, difficulty swallowing, trembling or twitching, frequent urination. Okay? And classified under the anxiety disorders, meron tayong mga at tinatawag na obsessive-compulsive disorder. OCD is classified under anxiety. Panic attacks in the new DSM-5, panic attacks, nagkaroon na siya ng sarili niyang classification under the anxiety disorder. Okay. So, if naka-experience kayo ng mga ganitong symptoms, then nakaka-disrupt na siya sa day-to-day life niyo, it is better to get help, to seek medical attention. Okay? And at the same time, syempre, seek yung attention ng church for us to be able to help you and journey with you through this pain that you are encountering. So right now, we'll be having an activity time, short activity lang. Okay? So, pa-move na lang yung chairs to the side. Huwag nyo na siyang gaanong guluhin. Kasi papalik nyo rin na agad. Okay? Pa-move lang, pa-bilisan. Okay. Then, what we will be doing in this short activity, so I'll be asking several questions. So if that question applies to you, please step on the line at the middle. Hindi siya ganong visible, pero alam niyo naman kung ano siya. Okay, please step on this line. Okay? So, important, don't mind other people and just be honest about how you are feeling. Okay? How many of you owns a smartphone? Stand lang, so ita. Ay, ikaw wala. Kasali lahat ha? Okay. So, lahat may smartphone. Okay, sige. Then, mo pa sa'yo na? Okay na. Side again. How many of you have watched DOTS? Descendants of the Sun. Kunti? Oo. Alam ko si Ana Marlon na nanonood. Okay? Okay, next. Mumasay. How many of you have struggled to pay your tuition? Okay, move aside. How many of you have been bullied once in your life? Bully na lang mula. Move aside, move aside. How many of you experience a loss of a loved one? Okay, move aside. How many of you have a friend or a relative who have betrayed you? Okay, move back again. How many of you feel that you are all alone? Feel that you are all alone. Next, two more serious questions. Stand on the line if you are in pain right now. Any kinds of pain. If you are in pain right now. Now. Any kind of pain. It can be emotional pain, physical pain. If you are in pain right now.
Get out of the line.
Stand on the line if you came from a broken family. Okay. Stand on the line if you've experienced any form of abuse, whether verbally, physically, sexual abuse, it classifies. Okay. Stand on the line if you've experienced having panic attacks. Okay. You can move back now. Stand on the line if you know someone who lost their life due to suicide. Okay, move back. Stand on the line if you've experienced struggling with suicidal thoughts. Okay, move back. And lastly, stand on the line if you've already attempted suicide. Okay, so right now, pabalik na lang ulit yung mga upuan. Okay. So let's move to our next portion of the message. Who can be affected? Okay. So here's just a short statistics in America. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the US, affecting 40 million adults in the United States and age 18 and older, or 18% of the overall population. Major depressive disorder affects more than 15 million American adults, or about 6.7% of the US population aged 18 and older in a given year. The number can be more. Why? Because majority of the people do not admit that they have it, or are not aware that they have it. So who can be affected? Anyone. There are several Bible characters who are also affected with depression, who also undergone depression. So first is Elijah. Babasahin ko na isang excerpt ng verse, dalawang verse lang. Then he was afraid, and he rose and ran for his life, and came to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat down under a broom tree, and he asked that he might die, saying, "It is enough. Now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am no better than my fathers." It happened right after yung glorious moment na nanalo siya over the prophets of Baal. If you read yung verse 18, it speaks about yung victory niya. Then afterwards, parang pinakahabol siya ni Jezebel. That's why, ito, naramdaman niya. Okay? Next, we have King David. I am troubled, I am bowed down greatly. I go mourning all day long. I groan because of the turmoil in my heart. Okay? So there are several Bible characters who can relate to us, who can relate to you personally. Okay? For Elijah, I actually have a personal prayer similar to him that I wanted to, sabi ko, Lord, can you please take away my life? So that hindi ko na kailangan maka-experience ng any kinds of pain. So, I'll be moving forward to the common misconceptions that we have for anxiety and depression. Most of the time, people say that I've been there, I've done that. Na-encounter ko na yung situation mo eh. Just do this. Ito yung nakapag-save sa akin, gawin mo lang to. But most of the time, as I said earlier, ang mga tao, we have a wrong notion of what a depression or anxiety is. Some people, na-experience lang nila yung loss of a loved one that resulted to sadness, resulted to grief, but hindi siya yung clinical or a disorder itself. Okay? So, there's no single routine or process to overcome this disorder. Walang single way. Case-to-case basis, malamang, kunyari, ayong magturo. Ako, na-experience ko to. Depressed ako. Ginawa ko, kumain ako ng kumain. It doesn't mean na, pag sinabi ko yun sa ibang tao, ganun lang rin gawin nyo. It's not that. There's no single routine. And there's no single process. Why? Each person has his own pain. His own way of coping. Ito important, his own timing of healing. And his own characteristics. Kanina nagpagawa ko ng activity. It's not for para lang makita natin sino yung may ganito, sino yung may ganito. But to understand that different people, meron silang different na mga lugar na pinanggagalingan. Okay? They have their different characteristics. Different family background. Different wants, different dislikes. Different weaknesses. Different strengths. So each person is unique. Realize that each person is a unique individual, created by God specially. No two persons are exactly the same. So we can't say that I've been here, eto lang kailangan gawin. If you really experience depression, if you really experience anxiety, ikaw mismo makakaalam that it's not kung ano yung pinagdaanan mo, it's not similar kung ano yung pinagdaanan mo ng tao. Because you've been there. You've been into the pits of your life. Life keeps moving. Yes, it moves, but this is a disorder. This is a mental disorder. So you're a prisoner of your own mind. And that's hard. It is a personal choice. Funny, no? Diba? Sino bang tao gusto maka-experience na nahihirapan sila day to day? Wala. But some people think that this is a personal choice. Okay. Ako, I've experienced someone telling me na just move on. Mabilis lang yan. Move on ka lang. Sabihin mo lang na okay ka na. Choose to be happy. Yung mga famous di ba? But it's not. It's not a choice. If it is a choice, tingin niyo ba mayroon pang taong madidepress? Mayroon pang taong magkakaroon ng anxiety? No. Because it's a hard place to be. Yan, mga comments, sinasabi, just shake it off and move forward. It's not the answer. You can't just escape mental disorder because you're a prisoner of it. You're a prisoner of your hopelessness and your fearful mind. It's a spiritual deficiency or it is a sin. Have you ever heard that from the church? Ako, I've heard it. Lack of faith ka lang eh. Bakit hindi ka nagtatrust kay God when you have that depression? But it's not. Kung nakikita natin yung common misconceptions and the different nag-break ako. Okay. So the different ng mga tao, different characteristics, and kung ano yung mga pain na meron sila, you'll realize that it's more than this. It is not a sin. It's not a spiritual deficiency. Have you ever heard this? If you only have enough faith, if you only trust God enough, you have unconfessed sin. Okay. I hope that we will realize that depression is more than a spiritual deficiency. It can be. Okay. I'll be sharing yung two experiences ko. First is a result of this one, but yung una is not. Okay. So it's not. So this is my story. Tawa lang ako. Nanghalungkat ako. So the first one is dated October 13, 2009. But it's copied from Multiply, so it's much earlier than that. So, babasahin ko lang. So, ang sinulat ko dito, drama eh. Emo daw ako. Sabi. I don't know what to feel right now. I'm trapped with every emotion that strikes my dying self. Every emotion remains as if they're all gonna eat me up. I don't want to lose myself, but I guess I'm losing it. To tell you the truth, every moment hurts. Every moment is full of worry, full of anguish, full of despair. Every single second is an added what if. I don't want to end up not feeling anything, because in reality, I don't want to be numb. I wanted to let it all out, but I couldn't. There's some force that stops me from doing it. Maybe pride or shame. Okay? Ito yung moment na, high school ako. So, just siguro to give a brief background of ano yung na-experience ko. During that time, third year high school. So, we've lost yung family business namin. Nagkaroon ng bankrupt yung family business namin. Then, we received several death threats from yung mga employees namin kasi nag-welga sila. Then, also during that time, I've also experienced loss in terms of friendships. Yung mga kabarkada ko that time, it started petty things eh. Hindi nila ako binoto sa CSA, nalaman ko, nagalit ako. But yung little things na yun, lumaki na lumaki. Okay. So, that's the loss of friendship. Loss of financial security. Next, naka-experience rin ako kasi yung brother ko nakabuntis. And during that time, every day, nag-aaway yung dad ko and brother ko So I have to witness it na daily nagsisigawan sa bahay. O lumayas ka. Tapos mom ko will cry. Kasi syempre ayaw niya. Yun. So that contributed to my depression. And also, sense of betrayal. Drummer ako nung 4th year high school. So first time ko ikwento to kasi nakakahiya. Nakakahiya. Drummer ako nung 4th year high school ako. And yung mga ka-drummer ko, gumawa sila ng bag. Drummer bag. Ako wala. Bakit? Kasi ayaw nila sa akin. Okay? So that's a story of rejection from your teammates and from your barkada. Barkada ko yung mga yan. That's a story of rejection. And all of that contributed to how depressed I am nung nag-high school ako going to college. On 2010, nagsulat ako. Writer pa ako dati. So, this is what it means to live. Every second is a dead end in itself. Every minute is an aspiration to breathe. And every hour is a reality shattering within your own eyes. How can we say that life is a gift if all we are feeling is pain? How can we tell the world that we are okay when all we have is grief? This is a reality we have to face. A reality that we have to endure, to feel that we exist, and to know that we are alive again. Drama, no? Emo. That's why, yung mga panahon na yun, I keep posting sa Twitter, sa ano. It's a cry for help. Okay? So if meron mga tao, it's a cry for help. Know that. Don't bully them. Huwag niyo sabihin, emo ka, because it's a cry for help. Usually, people who are experiencing depression, may mga different levels yan. Akin medyo light lang. Pero yung iba talaga na-disrupt na yung way of life nila. That they can no longer interact with other people. Akin, on the outside, I'm okay. Ano pa ako neto eh? Joy officer. So nag-serve ako, nag-ano ako. I'm okay on the outside. But on the inside, I'm dying. And during those moments, meron mga times na kaya ako sinulat yung first portion kasi wala na talaga akong nararamdaman. I don't know if some people have experienced being numbed, but I have experienced that. That tumatawid ako ng street, not looking for yung mga cars because I'm numb and I want to die. Siyempre, pag nag-suicide ako, mas nakakahiya. Pag nabangga ka, at least accident. I mean, ganun yung thoughts ko dati, di ba? But it is the feeling. Okay? Second portion is May 22, 2016. Kailan yun? Few months ago. Okay? So emptiness is better than fear. I've experienced depression and I believe emptiness is better than having an anxiety attack. Why? Ito naman is yung sinabi ko is a result of a spiritual deficiency. It resulted from a sin that I committed. Okay? It resulted from lack of faith, from lack of trust. Ayoko nang banggitin, kasi fresh pa siya. Siguro pag next time, mababanggit na siya. Pero ngayon, medyo fresh pa siya. So I don't want to trigger unwanted memories. Mahirap eh. Okay? But, yung time na yon, alam to nila ni Asher Carlo na talagang kinakain ako ng own mind ko. And this is the time, mga before nito, months before, March, April, wala ako dito sa church. Or pupunta lang ako mag-service ako, uwi na ako agad. Okay? Because na-trouble ako with my mind. It's anxiety. It lasted for 3 months. 3 long months of having this kind of anxiety. So, punta na tayo sa happy part. Steps to healing. Face your fears. Face your pain. Narinig niyo na to? Mahirap, di ba? How can you face your fear if that's something na ayaw mo talagang kaharapin for the rest of your life? How can you face your pain if that pain napaparamdam niya sa'yo that you wanted to die? Mahirap. But, video din eh. Okay. But, let's look at the video. Des, di ka nandun sa save ko. Ayaw mo kayo. Sayang, hindi nyo makikita si Charles. Doon. Okay, so what really happened here, anong nangyari dito? Drop zone to. It's an attraction sa Cagayan de Oro. So, itataas ka 100 feet, then it'll drop ka. So it's, nakakatakot siya eh, for people who are afraid of heights. If you are going to face it, gusto mo eh, pero may mga tao hindi kaya. And every time na iniisip mo pa lang siya, nag-add up na yung fear. But what happens when you actually experience this? Hindi makikita sa akin. Pero, ayan, inaano na natin. Pero, you'll feel free. That's similar to how we are feeling when we face our pain, when we face our fears. Mahirap siya. But when we nakaroon na tayo ng sapat na courage to face it, especially with a good friend journeying with you, you'll feel free. Sige, okay lang. Gusto ko lang magbuka. Sinabihan niya na I love you. So this is actually how you will feel if you've got, if nagkaroon ka na to finally have that courage to face your pain, to face kung ano man yung mga nagtitrigger ng mga anxieties mo. It will be hard, but it is worth it. So, I'll go to my steps to healing. Sinabi kong my steps because, as I mentioned earlier, each person has a different way of coping. My steps would be to kneel in prayer. It's really different if you've actually surrendered your whole life in prayer. Kneeling in prayer says a lot about how we value the sovereignty of God in our life. Sinasabi ko before nung nagkaroon ako ng depression, Walang kwenta naman yung mga Bible verse na yan. It can't really help me. Wala siya eh. Hindi ko siya maramdaman. Sabihin sa akin ng kaibigan ko, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Ano naman kwenta na kung nade-depress ako? But it's different when ikaw mismo yung naka-encounter mo. So the key is for you to actually encounter it. Not any other people who are saying to you na, just have faith, malalampasan mo rin yan. Sabihin, alam ko naman lahat yan. But hindi ko siya nararamdaman. That's the problem. But if ikaw mismo, you kneel in prayer, you'll realize that God is gracious enough to answer whatever you ask of Him. Kneeling in prayer is one of the discipline that I've learned last May. Nung nagkaka-experience ako ng mga anxiety attacks. It's really hard when for 3 months you can't sleep. Pag nakatulog ka, gigising ka lang every hour. Kasi nagkaka-panic attacks ka. Hindi ka makatulog. And for the whole day, nag-iisip ka lang kung ano pwede mangyari sa'yo. Okay? Yung result noon, medyo classify ko rin kasi siya. Ako lang nag-classify. Hindi siya medically. Ako lang kasi may alam ako. But classify ko yung anxiety ko as hypochondria. So it's health anxiety. Okay? So every time I feel something, I go to the doctor. Nagsasayan ko ng pera. Papacheck ako. Gano'n nag-assist ko doon? Gano'n ka nag-assist doon? Okay. So, yeah. That's what I experienced. Kneeling in prayer is one of the greatest help that I've got. Ayaw. Okay, next, ask someone to pray for you. It's effective. Ako, nagkaroon ako ng mga prayer partners. Hindi nila alam kung ano pinagdadaanan ko. I just ask their help. Pray for me. I've been undergoing anxiety attacks. Okay? Yun. I just ask someone to pray for me. It helps a lot. Next, cry to God. Every day, I cry to God. 3 months. Ano yun? Kulang na lang dugo na yung lumabas. But I cry to God. And it helps to speak kung gaano ka ka-dependent sa Kanya. Next. Ay, okay. Thank you. Dwell in His Word. Nag-meditate ako, Psalm 51. Basahin ko na lang. Yung first few verse lang, parang hindi mo. It's a prayer of David. The moment nung nag-commit siya ng adultery, yung sa son niya, di ba? Psalm 51. Have mercy on me, O God, because of your loyal love. Because of your great compassion, wipe away my rebellious acts. Wash away my wrongdoing. Cleanse me from my sin. For I am aware of my rebellious acts. I am forever conscious of my sin. Against you, you above all, I have sinned. I have done what is evil in your sight. So you are just when you confront me. You are right when you condemn me. Look, I was guilty of sin from birth, a sinner the moment my mother conceived me. Look, you desire integrity in the inner man. You want me to possess wisdom. Sprinkle me with water, and I will be pure. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. Grant me the ultimate joy of being forgiven. May the bones you crushed rejoice. Ganda, no? Yung first part and the last part. Especially, ito yung pinaka-nag-confront sa akin. Kasi, as I've shared earlier, the second part was a result of sin. So when he said that, anong sinabi niya dito? When he said that my sins are forgiven, that I can be whiter than snow. It's comforting. Okay. Then next, fasting. It's also a spiritual discipline that I've learned to fast. Ano yung fasting? Ano yung fasting? Hindi ka kakain. Right? So you deprive yourself with earthly things, with earthly food, so that you can fully trust on the provision of God. Ano yung food mo for that time is the Word of God. Okay? So I'm not sure if papayag sila, but during that time, papayag sila. But during that time, may one Saturday pumunta lang ako, hindi pa alam ng mga dinadahin. Pumunta ako sa sanctuary, nagpa-help lang ako na pabuksan yung pinto. Pumunta ako doon at doon ako nag-pray for a long period of time. Okay. So, it helps. It helps. And at the same time, ito yung last, pinaka-important is patience. Patience. Why? Because you have to wait for your time of healing. But you have to be faithful to God. Appreciating the grace, mercy, and love of God. For me, ito yung pinaka-effective way sa akin kung paano ako naka-move forward. Psalm 86:15, but you, O Lord, are a God merciful and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness. Psalm 136:26, give thanks to the God of heaven, for His steadfast love endures forever. So, my steps to healing, this is the grace that I've been talking about. Doon sa title, di ba? When grace responds to anxiety and depression. Earlier, we've discussed the definition of anxiety and depression. And at the same time, we've discussed kung ano yung mga misconceptions. We've discussed my experience, roughly lang. Then, right now, steps to healing. Ito na yung grace portion. So, ano yung mga grace ko? Travel, stargazing, nature trip. Okay. Why? To be able to have that, I think, blessing to afford it is one of the grace na nabigay sa akin. Hindi mo yan. Hindi sa magyayabang, but it's a grace that has been given to me. Okay, so ito yung mga adventure. Itong nasa bubang portion, nag-stargazing kami niyan. And sobrang ganda ng sky. Di ba? Sobrang ganda ng sky. Si Asher nga, may picture pa siya nung nung galaxy ba? Saan nakuha na niya? Ganda lang. Then, then Paris. Paris. Di ba, ganda. Yan. Singapore, Malaysia, mukhang yan. Nung nagsisipline. Okay. Next. How grace responded to my anxiety and depression. Forgiveness. Mga passage dito, yung devotion ko during the 3-month period of my anxiety and depression. Ito yung mga passages ko na binigay sa akin ni God. For 3 months, paulit ko, hindi yung passage pero yung message ng passage in the different verses. Paulit-ulit yan. Psalm 32, blessed is the one whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered. Blessed is the one whose sin the Lord does not count against them, and in whose spirit is no deceit. Then I acknowledged my sin to you, and did not cover up my iniquity. I said, I will confess my transgressions to the Lord, and you forgave the guilt of my sin. Next, assurance. Lamentations 3:22-23. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning, great is your faithfulness. It's an assurance that His love and mercies are new every morning. Bakit sobrang tumama siya sa akin? Because during that time, I actually already planned out in my mind. Saan ba yung mga lugar na pwedeng mag-suicide? That it's true. I actually planned it into my mind na during that time. And etong verse na to, pinamukha niya sa akin that yung love ni God will always be there for me. And yung mercy niya is renewed every morning. We have enough grace. We have enough love. We have enough mercy for the day. And it is being renewed tomorrow to what you need for that day. Hindi ba sobrang ganda nun? Then, next is comfort. Psalm 23, di ko na nilagay dyan. Pero kung sino may alam ng Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd, masyado na ito, okay. So, pero ang tumama sa akin nito, dito sa passage na to is, yung sinabi, you anoint my head with oil in the presence of your enemies, my enemies. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies, and you anoint my head with oil. Pinamukha na ni God sa enemy, which is Satan, that you are already defeated, and I am anointing my servant right in front of you. It's a comfort that I needed when you've come out of sin. That's the forgiveness. That's the grace that I do not deserve. So His grace is bigger than our sins. Through His grace, we can find new hope and new life. It's true. Battling depression for around, kailan yung pinatawag? 2009. Tapos galing pa siya multiply. So 2008 or 2007. Then it was healed just 3 years ago, I think. It's a long year. Then for 3 months of having anxieties, I believe that His grace is bigger than any of our sins. That through His grace, we can find new hope and new life. So, other grace, paano nag-respond si God? Blessings! Newfound barkada. Ito sila. Si Carlo lang yun. Tapos sila, kung sino sila Matthew, sila Aaron, King. Yeah. So, yun. Ken Plau. Yun. Then, itong mga loko-lokong to, kung kilala niyo sila, and walk out na daw sila. It's grace. Then my care group, yung etong mga to, yung mga loko-loko, they are yung grace na binigay ni God. Meron kayo na. Okay. Meron, yun, mga care group ka na dyan. It's the blessing and it's grace that God has given you. Joy, YP, opportunity to serve. Mat na akong labi ka. And a lot of you guys, you are a blessing. You are a grace that God has given you. Imagine someone who lost his friends. Friends ko na silang okay na kami. Wala na akong bitterness yan. So, imagine that. And God replaced them with so much more. Deserve ko ba? Hindi. Why? Hindi ko siya deserve eh. Ganun na explanation eh. But it's because I also betrayed them. Parang parehas lang siya. Both ways siya. But I do not deserve them. But God has given this to me. And more blessings. So how grace responded to my anxiety and depression? More blessings. 1 Samuel 12:12, do not be afraid. Samuel replied, you have done all this evil, yet do not turn away from the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. How comforting is this nung pinigay sa akin ni God yung word na to? During the time that I'm having my anxiety because of sin. Because of sin. And yet, God showed me this first. Do not be afraid. You have done all this evil, yet do not turn away from the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. And the grace, ito, care group. Tampo yung word ko. Yung mga bata care group, they are the new beginning. The fresh start that God has given me to continue on serving Him. Ito, FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Itong babae na to, siya yung captain ng Perlas Pilipinas. Then, si Hans, siya yung chaplain ng PBA team. May mga PBA team siya na champion. Hinay Bratok and Tex. Coach Jojo, coach ng St. Stephen dati, naging commissioner siya ng UAAP. Imagine, during the time of my sin, my anxiety and depression, nagpa-follow up sila ng meeting. Sabi ko, Lord, bakit? Why are you giving me opportunities to serve you when I have disappointed you? And believe it or not, after ko basahin to, sabay-sabay nagparamdam tong tatlo. Ano pa yung iba? Fellowship of Athletes. First anniversary na last ano. Mamaya meron, punta kayo. Nag-plug yun. Fellowship of Athletes. And Sports Chaplaincy Seminar sa Hong Kong. Ang weird nung timing eh. Binigay ni God itong verse na to, nag-text ito, nagparamdam, kasi natigil to. Di ba alam niya natigil, for those na nag-attend, natigil siya for some months. Nagparamdam to. And this is a dream that I have to be able to have seminar or conferences outside the country. And it is given. Especially doon sa seminar or ministry na gusto ko, which is the sports ministry. Ito yung blessing na binigay sa akin. This is the grace that I am talking about. Why? Deserve ko ba mag-serve? No. Kaya-kaya nga niya akong tanggalin eh. Kaya-kaya nga akong pahiya ngayon sa harap ng lahat eh. But He has given me His grace so that I am right here in front of you speaking about my experiences. Kneel. Medyo pilit, pero know your pain. And for those who are helping, know their pain. Know the reason why. What is it? How it happened? When did it happen? Who contributed it? Sometimes kailangan. But know your pain or know their pain. Be aware of it. Understand it. Don't judge it. Yeah. Never judge yourself or never judge those people. Express yourself or encourage them to express yourself. It is very important for you guys to be able to talk to someone trusted. Okay? Someone you trust. The person that you know na hindi naman i-disappoint because every time nadi-disappoint ka. But that's someone who you know that can pray for you. Express it. Ask help. Pwede siyang care group leader nyo, kaibigan nyo. Why is it important? Yung sin ko, nag-start siya the time that lumalayo na ako sa church. Why? Kasi na pumunta eh. Wala yung bahay ko, sa Malabon ako. So minsan, hindi ako nagising ang mga aga-aga. Or ang layo ng travel time. Natamad ako. Little sins, little things na hindi natin nagagawa can contribute greatly to how we will act in the future. Express yourself. Kung nagsastruggle na kayo right now, express it. Kung in pain kayo right now, the more that you have to express it. Suicides often happen when people, di ba madalas na yung mga nagsuicide, nagulat na lang kayo bakit sila nagsuicide. It's because nakatago lahat yun. People who are saying that they wanted to commit suicide are less likely to commit it. Because nagkakaroon na sila ng opportunity to express their feelings. And at the same time, it is always a cry for help. So as a church, we need to be sensitive over that. Exert effort to stay in your faith. No matter how empty you feel your devotion is, no matter how empty you feel the message is, no matter how disturbing your group leader is, stay in your faith. Stay in prayer. Stay in your faith. Why? Because hindi nyo alam kung kailan pa magre-respond si God. Si Job, for the whole of chapter 1 to chapter 38, 37, God is silent. But when God responded, that's where comfort happens. Yan. Ginawa ko, kneel in prayer, fast, devotion, church, DS, care group. And most importantly, learn to wait and move forward. Unahin natin yung wait bago mag-move forward. There's always a time of proper healing before you can actually move forward. And for us as a church, learn to journey with them. Why journey? Because you can't do anything but to accompany them, be with them, journey with them. Kung anong sasabihin mo, it's not important to them. Why? Hindi rin nila papaniwalaan yan kasi control nga sila ng own mind nila. But your presence really matter. Because it will make them feel that there is someone na nandiyan dyan to accompany them. That's what is more important. Because we are not an expert in their life. They are. Diba? Ikaw sabihin mo pa sila na, oh, ganito gawin mo, ganyan gawin mo. Ako ganito lang ginawa ko. For the person who have that kind of depression or anxiety, pakialamin ito to. Mas magaling ka pa sa akin, ito nararamdaman ko. Diba? Or sabihin niya, alam ko na yan eh, but hindi ko kaya talagang kontrolin yung sarili ko. Yung mind ko. And it actually happened to me. Oh, people saying that I'm overreacting. People saying that I'm just close-minded. It happened. But you can't control it. What you can do is journey with them. And for those na naka-experience nun, wait. Wait with God. Pray. Pause and talk to God. You need to pause from all the things na ginagawa nyo day to day. Pause and talk to God. Pausing actually says a lot about how important yung time na bibigyan mo kay God. And at the same time, to reflect on your own life. Pause. Rest in God's love. It is important. I don't know if maniniwala kayo, but during the 3-month period of my anxiety, nag-keep ako ng journal eh. So, nagsulat ako ng day-to-day. Sleep journal siya. How many times ba ako nagising for the day? Meron mga 5 times, 7 times. Nagising na ako every hour kasi. But one moment, I actually feel God embracing me. I don't know if maniniwala kayo or not, but for me, it is real. And that embrace is real. Allow God to work in your life. Other than that, may pinulong din sa akin si God. Hindi siya audible voice. Okay. Diba? Hindi siya audible voice, but it's pumasok siya sa mind ko pagkagising ko nung nagpapanik ako. Ang sinabi ni God, don't allow lack of faith to keep you away from experiencing my peace. So allow God to work in your life and realize that you matter. Each and every one of you matter to your family, to your friends, especially to the kingdom of God. You matter. So understand that it is always a process. Be patient. Video ulit to, kaya lang wala na akong file dyan, so baka hindi na siya ma-play. So what actually happened, may mga nang-intriga kasi kung bakit daw yung caption ng picture ko, there's always pain behind every smile. Okay? Kasi ang nangyari nito, nag-ATV kami on the way here. Dumidire-diretso yan, tapos nalaglag ako. Buti hindi na na-play yung video. Makatawad ka si Leslie. Wala dyan. Kaya, hindi. Yun, so yun. Understand that it is a process. You will fall. Surely, magfo-fall ka before you can achieve healing. That's why there needs to be people who journey with you. People, hindi lang basta-basta kahit sino, but who have a strong faith with God so that He can lead you to the right path. Okay? So, Tullian, hindi ko na alam basahin ito eh. Okay, isa siya. He is the grandson of Billy Graham. Pamangkin siya ni Franklin Graham. Kilala niyo ba sino si Graham? Hindi pagkain ah. Okay. Famous sila, evangelist. So, he is a ex-pastor of a Presbyterian church. He committed adultery. Wow, a pastor who committed adultery. And this is his battle against depression after he resigned from the church. Words cannot express the pain I feel for the hurt I've caused. It has become too much to bear based on what I've done and the pain I've caused. I have concluded that it is safer for all those I love that I just disappear. Actually, naramdaman ko to. Life without hope is death. At the end, I tried. I really, really tried. God knows that my apologies and my expressions of love were real. So real. But what does that matter when the people you want so bad to believe you don't? I understand why they didn't. Given my recent track record, why would they? So when it became clear that those I love most wanted nothing to do with me, the choice I needed to make became clear. Initially, I got angry and defensive when I was told that I am a monster, evil, disgustingly dangerous, etc. But it has sunk in, and I finally believe it. I am all those things. Lord, have mercy on me. One final word to the church, and I believe this is also my final word to the church, to YPF. When people screw up bad, try to help them. Do your best to sacrifice anything and everything to help them. More than likely, they screw up bad because they need help. Don't turn your back on them. Pursue them. Something isn't right with them, and they need help. Even if they have hurt you bad, do everything you can to help them. As one family, we are one in this battle. Let's journey together towards healing. So let's bow our heads in prayer. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, we just wanted to thank you, Lord, for this time that you have given us to be able to discuss one of the serious topics nga po, Father, na kailangan namin matutunan. It's not about how we feel really, Lord, but it's about how you will respond to our feelings, how you will respond to our pains, how you will respond to our fears. Help us, Father, to look upon you and you alone. That all through these struggles, all through these pains, you are there. You may be silent, but you are there. You are there to help us. You are there to listen. Just allow us to process kung ano man yung mga experiences of pains namin. And in the right time, Lord, we know we will also receive your grace of healing. Lord, we just wanted to lift up everything into your hands, Lord. Allow us, Lord, to be a minister nga po, Father, to the people who are experiencing this. We know po, Father, that we are really short of your, kung paano po kayo nag-comfort sa amin. But we know po, Father, that through you, we can encourage these people. Through you, we can journey with them. Through you, these people can feel your love. Father, we just wanted to lift up everything to your hands, Lord, and as a church, Lord, we wanted to pray for your guidance so that we can finally and start to minister with these people. This is our prayer, Lord, in Jesus' name, pray. Amen.
So, some announcements.